Give the call to the member for Wannon.
Thank you, Deputy Speaker, and it's a great honour to be able to stand again in the House of Representatives chamber. And can I place on record my thanks to the people of Wannon for once again placing their trust in me. I've always sought to fulfil that level of responsibility to the best of my ability, and I will continue to do so in the 48th Parliament. One thing that I commit to the people of Wannon is that even though we're in opposition, I will be working just as hard as I always have. I see my job now as probably more important than it ever has been, because one of the things, especially representing a rural electorate, that we have to ensure is that this government does not get arrogant, does not get full of hubris, and not forget that it needs to govern for all Australians. Mm-hmm. Sadly, in the state of Victoria, we aren't seeing that. We are seeing more and more just complete and utter neglect for those outside of major cities. And I'll be every single day reminding the government that good government of this nation is governing for all people, no matter where they live. Over the last 3 years, I was out and about, did countless listening posts. We were racking up 100 listening posts a year, doing numerous community events just to find out what the needs of the local communities are. And as we know, roads are the number one, sadly, because we've had a Victorian state government that has failed to invest into our road and rail infrastructure. And sadly, what we saw over the last term of the Albanese Labor government was a reduction in that investment as well. And as a matter of fact, there was $60 million that our last coalition government put into the Princess Highway between Warrnambool and Port Fairy that was finally enacted upon. And yet, by the time it was finished, there was still large sections which hadn't been fixed. If you do a job, do it properly. Surely that has to be a fundamental principle of any good governing. The Western Highway between Ballarat, where we've also invested heavily, is deteriorating before our eyes as well. Potholes keep popping up every single time it rains, and we need to ensure that that bit of road is fixed properly. The duplication between Boangor and Ararat needs to be finished, and it needs to be finished quickly, because sadly that piece of road has seen growing tragedies occurring on it, and there is no reason. We've run out of excuses. The money's there, and I say to my communities as well that every one of my election commitments that I made, and they were numerous, I want to try and make sure that we do everything we can to keep them on the government's agenda, both federally and at the state level. Can I thank all the community groups that work with me to advocate for those funding commitments. And I say to you all, I will continue to work tirelessly to get outcomes for you. Can I end, Deputy Speaker, on this note? I made this point earlier on making sure that both governments at the national and the state level know and understand that you have to govern for everyone, for all people. You need to know and understand it, and I'm going to make sure in this parliament that I'm here to remind you of that.
Authorised by Dan T and Liberal Party, Hamilton.